the nozzle, the siphon feed sandblaster out of the glass bead cabinet. I'm sick and tired of it skipping. Part of that is because of debris getting in there and plugging things up, so I want to kind of... I figured, well, you know, I've got a ton of glass beading to do with all the brake kits that are going to be welded and stuff, so I need to do something about that. So anyway, I took the piece off the end here, which pulls out the spring and the plunger and the O-ring. There's a little O-ring that keeps this sealed to the backside there. The spring pushes that down. You know, basically like that in the back there. This is down in the base, so this goes through it, and that cone seals to it, and then this spring is what the pushes up against inside the cap here, and that's what holds this sealed until you pull the trigger. This spring here is just to keep that O-ring down tight so that when this opens up, it doesn't just blow everything out, air through there. So I took it out. The only thing I need to do is put this cap back on. I cut off the trigger because I've had it taped with electrical tape because I put a foot switch on it. Because when you're doing a lot of it, boy, that turning it, squeezing it off and on from all different angles, what a nightmare. Now that's a little too thin. This is filler wire for aluminum filler wire. I guess I can just JB that hole, JB weld it. I was thinking about just taking the aluminum and just hammering it in there and creating a plug. I just had this part the other day and put some new pieces in it. And there's already a friggin' chunk of steel wire in there. Gotta love Gerbers. Yeah, there it is. All right. Just came through. Haha. Well, if I put a flat drift up in there and hold it at that end, kind of hoping to just squish it in there. JB Weld's looking pretty good. Oh, that definitely splayed it open a bit, or fattened it up a bit. We'll see if it leaks. If it leaks, I'll worry about it later. And I had this little one on. I think I'm going to put a bigger one on. Get a bit more airflow in there. Now I bought these whip hoses. About 5 feet, and the part I liked is it's got the swivel end on here, so I was actually thinking about putting that up in there, and then that buys me just a little bit more comfortable pivoting. You know, when you're in there shooting and stuff like that. You don't have, every little movement doesn't have to flex the hose. And I would like that. And I've had decent air pressure, so I guess I could just go with that. But they said they were 3/8 hose. That's what I went with, and then found out that when I just pulled it out of the package, that it's everything's 3/8, but the that hole's quarter. You know, it's a 1/4 inch air hose. This is what I've been dealing with, using for foot pedal. And it's all 1/4 inch line and stuff like that. And I got the coiled hose so that way I could move the foot pedal around easy enough. So I think I'm going to see if I can't change that up a bit. Probably the best thing for me to do would be to just hook the damn shit back up, get the hose back in there, and get the blasting. So I was using this kind of hose, and that's about a 1/4 inch ID. Anyway, basically I just heated it up a bit and shoved it onto the big end here, trying to get it to fit. So I'm going to try to get a bigger hose on this time. And I've got a bigger fitting here too. This is a piece of steel bar that I ran in here because I had this clamped down. I had it clamped down like this in the bottom of the cabinet. What it is this is where the glass beads would go in, the sand. Okay, so this end would be free to suck air. Okay, and help to keep it from getting plugged up, because what it does is it creates a Venturi effect. It sucks air through here, comes past here, and siphons off with the Venturi effect the sand and that stuff, and then sends it up to the other end where the gun was. So I'm going to put in bigger fittings and stuff like that and see if I can't help cut down some of the skipping. We'll see. It could be that I need smaller to maintain higher velocity. I don't know. We'll find out. Well, the original gloves for the Harbor Freight blaster have seen better days. That one's not bad. This is the left-hand one, which you shoot at all the time. So, you know, yeah, it's toast. So I ordered some new ones. I don't remember the name of the company offhand. I think they're out of Mead, Washington. And they do some other really cool sandblaster upgrades, but out of my budget at the time. But anyway, so you get these. They're 2 feet long, which means that that's going to be way, way too big for the hole that's on there. Okay, so I want it to at least be fairly close to the hole. Okay. Pretty sure I'm cutting it crooked, but and that's fairly straight as a round goes. First time I cut it, not exactly sure why, but this created a big peak. Now the other trick, I fought with trying to get the first ones on there. Ooh, looks like this one's quite a bit longer than the other one, isn't it? Yeah, and they're a little smaller too than the originals, so I don't mind it being a little longer. That's what I was talking about. See, it comes to a peak there. Alright, that's a little closer. Now, trying to get these on. I don't know if I can get the camera in there or not. So what I ended up having to do, I fought with it and just could not get it to go on there and stay well enough for me to get the clamp on. Okay, so I cleaned that stuff off, and then this is that double-sided trim tape that you put automotive trim on with. And it might be a royal pain in the ass to get it off, get the gloves off later. But that's Future Mike's problem. My buddy Dave, that's what he always says. It's Future Dave's problem. So, this is Future Mike's problem. But I'll tell you what, it worked really nice on the last one. And you definitely don't want to make it too small. I almost had that a little too small, and it made it real hard to stretch and get up over that lip there. Then the trick is trying to get the backing how about that? Okay, now keep in mind when you put your glove in, you want it oriented. Your hands, you know, you don't want to have to twist the glove. You know, when I put my hands in, I put them in like this and hold the trigger like this. So I want the thumb pretty much up, not so much there, because then as soon as I get in, I got to put a quarter twist in it. You know, so I want the thumb basically up, which means that seam is down on the bottom. Oh yeah, see, I made this one a little longer than the last one. Which means, if I make it a little longer, that means the diameter is a little bigger. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, you don't want it so much bigger that you got to fold it over and stuff like that. That's could happen. So I changed this fitting out. It had like an 1/8 inch hole in it. So I put a 3/8 hose barb in there and then cut the end off a 5-foot swivel hose. It's a Central Pneumatic 98943. I bought 3 of them. They were like $7 a piece. So this is the end I cut off, and then I left the swivel end on the gun. And that way it gives me just a little bit more flexibility there and twisting without having to constantly fight the hose. So I've got new air hose in there. I think I've already shown the gun. I took the gun apart and changed it so there's no trigger. I've had a foot switch on it forever, and I had the switch taped. And then I changed to this clear stuff. We'll see how well it lasts. I mean, it should last, provided I don't end up getting it kinked too much. Okay, but this was, God, it was so small. I think I took some other video of it. It was 1/4 inch less, and this is 1/2 inch right now. And it goes down to 1/2 inch barb that goes into a 3/8 union. Oh. Goes into a 3/8 inch union. And then I came out with a 3/8 barb and go to a 3/8 hose. I tucked it up in here so it's pulling fresh air from outside. Oh, and as long as we're here for reference, I can just get my hand in with the glove on. Okay. That's pretty close fitting, and it's not extremely easy to pull out. You got, you know, I'm gonna have to grab on the fingers and pull it out. So this is a large. I wear extra large gloves. I probably should have got extra large sandblast gloves. I just knew the other ones were a little on the big side, and they always used to bug me. So these really weren't that expensive, so I'll have to try them again. But I can always get new ones if I need to. But I've just got an old towel duct taped across there, and the reason for that is I got the mill right here. Okay, so all the chips, I was keeping some old sheets and stuff like that packed in here. No matter what I did though, it still put chips inside the sleeves. So this keeps it from getting chips inside the sleeve with whatever's running around here, stuff like that. But then it's real easy and comfortable to, you know, just go in and put your hands in. A couple other changes I want to make. Okay, that's where the shop vac pulls the air. I want to put some kind of baffle over that to give the glass beads a chance, because they bounce around and they float around in there a little bit. And I end up with quite a bit of glass beads over time in the shop vac. I don't have any kind of dust deputy on it. I don't have a whole lot of space Hopefully I'll get one at some point, but so I need to put a baffle over that to help with that. And if you notice those, there wasn't enough air incoming air. Okay, it would pull the lid down really tight and bow it. So I put these in, and these are like little gable vents, something like that. And it works really well, except that, as you can see, you know, if I shoot any sand this way, there's screens there, but glass beads will just go right out. And I do end up collecting quite a bit of glass beads out on the side there. So I want to put a baffle over this too, just a hood, little hood kind of thing. Man, that went so much faster. I mean, I was really what's the word I'm looking for? Dreading. I was dreading the thought of standing in front of that sandblaster, that glass bead cabinet, for as long as it was going to take to do all these brackets. And this is just a small portion of them. I have to finish the rest of those, and they'll need glass beaded too. But the upgrades to it, I just blasted that whole thing and it didn't skip at all, so I'm quite happy with that. I missed a little spot here by my thumb. Not that big a deal. I'll take just a couple seconds. With the new glass beads, the finish is definitely a little rougher than it was, but I'm fine with that because it just means it's being abraded faster, so it just cleans them up faster. Gotta love Gerbers. Ah. Oh.